Hey, what's up, guys? This is an update on coming to a close the last 2 weeks of my blast cycle. So I've been doing it for 2.5 months, and at the 3-month mark, I will bring it to a close. So what did I do? Which was I titrated the doses up at the end of the summer, to September, to doing roughly 400 milligrams of test, 400 milligrams of Masteron, and 200 milligrams of NPP, which ended up being, I think, a bit too much. And I think it was because come mid-October, I made a video around that time, which was I noticed very not great physiological effects and broke out in cystic acne on my body and developed gynecomastia. Not bad gyno, but you can feel the little bumps behind the nips there, which, I knew what I was getting into by pushing this current cycle, and the biggest one was my blood pressure was not great. So it's like, okay, and I felt like shit. Okay, that's too much. Enough is enough for that amount. So pull back, which I then did do. So I pulled back to 300 tests, 300 Masteron, and anywhere between 150 to 200 NPP. I kind of changed it up a little bit, fluctuated that, and it seemed to be a lot better. Like, I feel fine. My blood pressure is a lot better, even though it's not ideal. I know it's, but because I'm still blasting, I know that my blood pressure isn't going to be like perfect. But here, just 1 second, I gotta buzz myself through. Anyway, so I knew that blood pressure was going to be not ideal, so it's in the 130, high 130 range, 140, which I'm not taking any I am taking blood pressure management, which is Cialis, so that might be helping a little bit with that. I stopped taking HGH just because of financial reasons. Running a lot of HGH was kind of burning a hole through my wallet, although ideally I should continue doing that, and I will in the future. But hey, it's maybe just take a break from the HGH. I was running it for pretty much a year, but a good 10 months solid. So hey, take a few months off HGH, whatever. Maybe let my pituitary gland rebalance itself, and then I'll get back into it again, maybe next year in the new year. So what did I notice? Huge strength gains. You can see some of my videos about a month ago, but I've done other videos on my Instagram since. Like, for example, the other day I was doing hammer curls, 150 pounds, and this is towards the end of my workout, when I already did like a whole bunch of pull-ups and rows and reverse flies and things. So it was at the end of my workout, and I did 150 pounds hammer curls, 10 reps, like pretty easy. Okay, I wouldn't have been able to do that in the past, 100%. This time last year, especially, if I was to gauge myself on where I'm at before I started taking any anabolics, is like, no way. That's like a good at least 50-pound increase, so like 1/3 increase in strength on my arms. Okay, the other one is when I was doing chest flies and reverse chest flies, but chest flies specifically, I was doing full weight stack, which is like 270 pounds. I don't know, no, 230. I can't think off the top of my head, but it's like full weight stack anyway. Again, 10 reps. Reverse flies, something ridiculous, 10 reps. I don't know. It's just like, I know that my ability to lift heavy for longer is a lot greater, and even my max for, what was it for? Oh yeah, for bench press. Probably when I started taking steroids, I could do 225 pounds for like 2 reps. Okay, like my bench wasn't the strongest. Now I do it for 5 reps easy. I could probably do for 7. So that's a great fold increase, like, you know what I mean, of strength right there. And with it came a bit of size, although here's the thing. So when I started steroids, I was around 220 something pounds, and now I'm 215 pounds. So technically I'm smaller, right? But I've lost a lot of unnecessary weight, you want to call it that, fat and bloatingness, and increased just density. Like, I just feel like my body is just like solid, okay? But here's the thing. On this last blast cycle, yeah, the puffiness did increase and the weight did increase. I believe a lot of that weight is what would be considered water weight, okay? So when I go off it, I believe that will come down, okay? Or when I bring it down to a TRT dose again, I believe my weight will come down. I'll probably lose a little bit of strength, but you know, in doing these blasts, I believe my strength has increased drastically, and I believe I will hold on to that at least. I'm thinking 80%. Okay. So, oh yeah, the one other thing I should mention is in the last 6 weeks, I added Anavar to it at 40 milligrams a day. So that, I believe that was a major increase in anabolics. And adding that Anavar, I did that after I brought my other doses down from 400 to 300. Adding that Anavar, I noticed that, you know, there wasn't the androgenic effects, because Anavar is very low on the androgenic rating, so there wasn't much negative side effect, but I believe it did add a lot to the anabolic effect, if that makes sense. And I know that I can kind of gauge like where my limit is on things, okay? Like, you just know by listening to your body, you feel your body, what feels good and what doesn't. If you start feeling like shit, you know you're doing too much. If you start breaking out in mad acne, it's like, okay, pull back. And I did, and my acne is still there, but still deal with it, but it's not as bad, okay? It's not getting worse, right? It's getting better. So, okay, you know, that's fine. And again, it's expected because I'm blasted. Okay, I break out a little acne, fine. Gynecomastia is not getting worse. Things like that, right? Heart rate and pressure is not in the horrible range. It's not in the ideal range, but it's in the orange range, okay? Like if you're revving your car, you know, it's probably at like 4,000 revs per minute or whatever it is. Yeah, as opposed to, you know, should be at like 200 revs per minute type of thing, right? But if you go up to 8,000 revs per minute for extended period of time, like if you're blasted hard, then, you know, you're below your fucking transmission and shit, so, you know, don't do that. And that's what I didn't do. So I'm like pushing it, you know what I mean? And I understand that's not necessarily the healthiest thing either. Probably gonna get some guys commenting that I shouldn't be doing that and what I should be doing and things, and sure, I understand that, but I did it, and but I'm gonna pull back, and then when I do, you know, I honestly think this time I'm going to cruise for more than 3 months, because I kind of reached my ideal, right? And that's the whole point. It's like when you're doing steroids, it's like, okay, you're doing it to get to an ideal, right? Your goal. Okay, so you reached your goal. You reach your goal. Okay, then once you reach your goal, it's like, why are you going to just keep pushing it? You're just going to keep drive to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and at the cost of your health? No, it's like, okay, you reach your goal. Now you can chill the fuck out a little bit, right? And just find a good moderate dose to chill on. But there might be points in the future where you do bring it up a little bit, and, you know, if you're going through a hard training cycle, for example, okay, and you want to increase, say, size and strength in a particular, or you're just training hard, you want to increase the anabolic load a little bit, sure. But I honestly think I'm going to pull back to definitely just 150 test, and then maybe a tiny bit of nandrolone on top of that, tiny amount. It might be even like not pointless, the amount I'm doing, like 50 milligrams on top of 150, but, you know, it's just a little something. It definitely won't hurt anything. It's at the level where there's going to be like no side effects, and there'll only be benefits, even though the benefits might be negligible or it's just very small. It's still something. There's still a cumulative anabolic effect without, you know, you're pushing testosterone push past 200 yet. you're gonna start. There's start going to be other effects. So your testosterone's only like 150, so that's like you're not gonna have any problems there. And nandrolone has lower androgenic effects than testosterone. It doesn't have the estrogen conversion, so you're even be safer off. Okay, whilst still having high anabolic. NPP has high anabolic effects. Okay, so I think that it's like a cruise stack, a mini cruise stack. Okay, and I'll monitor my blood pressure. My blood pressure is fine. I'll run that for like 6 months, no problem. And I still believe I'll at very least maintain, if not even still make gains at that level, at that dosages. Okay, so what are your thoughts about that? Leave in the comment section below everything that I talked about. Would love to hear everybody's point of view. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.